Good morning, dear Sangha. Today is Sunday, the 30th of March, 2014. We are in the Assembly of Stars Meditation Hall of the Dharma Nectar Temple, Lower Hamlet, Plum Village. This is our second week of the spring session. When you breathe in mindfully, you bring your mind home to your body. Your in-breath is like a vehicle, a car, bringing your mind home to your body. It takes only 2 or 3 seconds in order for you to bring your mind home to your body. In our daily life, very often our body is there, but our mind is elsewhere. Our mind is in the future, in our projects, in the past, caught in anger, fear, anxiety, and very seldom our mind is with our body. That is why when you bring attention to your in-breath and breathe in, you bring your mind home to your body. It takes only 2-3 seconds for the mind to go home to the body. And when mind and body are together, you are there. You are truly there. In the here and the now, and you can get in touch with the wonders of life that are available in the here and the now for your transformation and healing. It's very easy to breathe in and to focus your attention only on your in-breath. And it is also very pleasant to do. How wonderful to breathe in. And if you really pay attention to your in-breath becomes the only object of your mind. You are concentrated on your in-breath. You are mindful of your in-breath. And you release everything else. You release the past, the future, your projects, your worries, and you become a free person. And therefore freedom is possible with one in-breath. Mindfulness and concentration directed to your in-breath help you to release everything else, and you become a free person. And if you want to keep that freedom, then you can breathe out also mindfully. Breathing out mindfully, you focus your attention on your out-breath. You are concentrated on your out-breath, and your mind is only with your out-breath. And everything else cannot cling to you. The past, the future, your worries, your fear, you are free from that. So with the practice of mindful breathing, you can cultivate freedom, and you can preserve that freedom as long as you wish. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. If you know how to practice mindful breathing, mindful walking, you keep your freedom. You are not pulled away by the past, by the future, by your worries, by your projects. You breathe as a free person and you walk as a free person. And if you are to make a decision, the decision will be good because you are not influenced by your fear, your anger. If you make a decision when you are angry or fearful, that is not a good one. But when you are free from anger, from fear, from jealousy, from hate, from the past, from the future, and then you can make the best kind of decision. Next time when you are to make a decision, restore your freedom by the practice of mindful breathing, mindful walking. And in that state of being free, you can make a good decision for you and for other people. When you spend 2 hours with your computer, you forget entirely that you have a body. During that time, you are absorbed in your work. And your mind is not with your body. You are not alive, truly alive during that moment. You are lost in your work, your projects, your thinking, your planning. In Plum Village, many of us have a bell of mindfulness in our computer. And every quarter of an hour, you hear the bell of mindfulness. And you stop working, you go back to your body by the way of mindful breathing, and you feel alive again. You bring your mind home to your body. You enjoy breathing in and out. You become fully alive. You smile to life. And after that, you continue your work. And that is a good way to not to be pulled away for a long time from the present moment, and that helps you to release the tension in the body and keep your freshness, keep your joy and happiness. The bell of mindfulness is a call, calling you back to the present moment, for you to be alive, for you to be free in order to get in touch with the wonders of life that are available in the here and the now. When I do mindful movements, it's not my intention to have a good health, but I just enjoy having a body, enjoy the movements. So joy, happiness is available during the time I practice these mindful movements. You do it for your own enjoyment, not for your health or anything else. So from the parking lot, walking to your office, you might like to walk in such a way that every step can release the tension in your body. Every step can bring you home to the here and the now, so that you can touch the wonders of life available in you and around you. If one in-breath can bring you home to your body, to the here and the now, and then one step that you make can also bring you home to the here and the now. You arrive in the here and now with every step. Your destination is not the office, the workplace. Your destination is in the here and the now. And every breath, every step brings you home to the here and the now, so that you can be alive. Because we know that the past is already gone, and the future is not yet there. There is only one moment when you can be truly alive. That is the present moment. And you have an appointment with life in the present moment. And if you miss the present moment, you miss your appointment with life, which is very serious. You run to the future, you take refuge in the past, and you miss the present moment. There are those of us who are caught in the past, who have no capacity to get out of the prison of the past in order to enjoy life in the present moment. There are those of us who are caught in the prison of the future. We only think of the future. We don't think that happiness is possible in the present moment. So the basic practice is to always go home to the here and the now. And the practice of mindful breathing, mindful walking can bring you home to the here and the now. Body and mind together, so that you can touch the wonders of life that have the power to nourish you and to transform you, to heal you. And that is why when we come to Plum Village, we should learn, master the art of breathing and walking. These two practices can help us to be free from the past, from the future, and to live deeply every moment that is given to us today. So from the parking lot, walking to your office, you walk in such a way that each step makes you a free person. You enjoy every step. Every step brings you to the here and the now, so that you can get in touch with the blue sky, the beautiful trees, the songs of the birds. Every wonder of life is available in the here and the now. And walking like that, you release the tension in your body with every step. You don't need extra time to practice meditation, walking meditation, because from the parking lot to your office, you can walk like that as a free person. You stop all the thinking together. You just enjoy every step, and you just feel the presence of the wonders of life in yourself and around you. And every one of us can practice like that. Last time we have learned the 7th and the 8th exercise of mindful breathing. And you remember, the 7th exercise of mindful breathing is to recognize a painful feeling that is coming up. Breathing in, I'm aware of the pain within myself. Breathing out, I smile to the pain within myself. That is the 7th exercise. Aware of pain. There is a painful feeling coming up. You know it. And as a practitioner, you know how to handle a painful feeling. And the 7th exercise is to recognize the feeling. You do not try to run away from it, like many people. You have to be there for your pain. And most of us are afraid to be overwhelmed by the pain inside. The painful feeling, the painful emotion. Not many of us know how to handle a painful feeling, a painful emotion. And most of us try to run away or cover them up with consumptions. We use music, newspapers, television, internet in order to cover up the pain in us. We do not have the courage to face, to recognize the pain in us. So the practitioner does not do like that. He practices mindful breathing. He practices mindful walking and generating the energy of mindfulness. And with that energy of mindfulness, he is stronger. He can go home to himself and recognize the pain and embrace it, like a mother embracing her ailing baby. So the seventh exercise is breathing in, I'm aware of the painful feeling in me. Breathing out, I embrace the painful feeling in me. There is the energy of pain, and there is the energy of mindfulness generated by the practice of breathing or walking. So it is the second energy that is recognizing the first energy. That is the seventh exercise of mindful breathing proposed by the Buddha. Breathing in, I know that a pleasant, a painful feeling is in me. Breathing out, I smile, I recognize the painful feeling in me. And the eighth exercise is to calm down the painful feeling. The way a mother holding her ailing baby. So mindfulness is a kind of mother, or big brother, or big sister, holding the child of suffering. So the first thing you do is to use the energy of mindfulness to recognize the pain. And the second thing you do is to embrace your pain tenderly, like a mother holding her baby. A mother has the energy of tenderness, and that energy of tenderness penetrates into the body of the baby. The baby suffers less after a few minutes. And the baby may stop crying because the energy of tenderness has penetrated into the energy of pain. So, with the practitioner who knows how to generate the energy of mindfulness and concentration, it is possible to recognize, embrace the pain and calm it down. By the practice of mindful breathing, mindful walking, you can stay with your pain and you can calm it down. And you are not overwhelmed by the pain because you do have a kind of energy that has the power to recognize and to embrace. And everyone can generate the energy of mindfulness and concentration with the practice of mindful breathing, mindful walking. Mindfulness of breathing, mindfulness of walking. That is the practice. After having held the baby for a few minutes and helping the baby to suffer less, the mother can find out what is wrong with the baby. The baby may have a fever, or the baby may maybe hungry. And after having discovered that, the mother can change the situation very quickly. And after having used the energy of mindfulness and concentration to embrace your pain and calm it down, you get the insight as to why there is that kind of pain in yourself. And you can find the roots of the pain in yourself. And with the other exercise that follow, you can very well transform the pain in you into something more positive. And we have the exercise number 9, 10, 11, 12. But you are curious to know what is the exercise number 6 and what is the exercise number 5. Exercise number 5 is to generate a feeling of joy. Generate joy. And the 6th is to generate happiness. A good practitioner can always bring about a feeling of joy whenever she wants. A good practitioner can always generate a feeling of happiness whenever he wants. And how? It's not too difficult. Because when you practice mindful breathing and you breathe in and you bring your mind home to your body, you become fully present in the here and the now. You realize what we call the oneness of body and mind. Mind and body are together. And when your mind is with your body, you are established in the here and the now. That's the first step. And when you are established in the here and the now, you are in a position to recognize the many wonders of life, the many conditions of happiness that you already have. And most of us do not believe that happiness is possible in the here and the now. We need to run into the future in order to get some more. And that is why we sacrifice the present moment for the sake of the future. But going home to the here and the now, you will be able to recognize the many conditions of happiness that are already available to you, more than enough for you to be happy in the here and the now. More than enough. The French have a song about that. Qu'est-ce qu'on attend pour être heureux? Why do you have to wait in order to be happy? Because in the here and the now, there are so many conditions of happiness that are already available. Take a piece of paper, write down the conditions of happiness that you have, and you see that 1 page is not enough, 2 pages are not enough, 3 pages are not enough. You are very lucky than many people in the world. And if you are not happy in the here and the now, that's your fault, because you are not there in order to recognize them. So to generate a feeling of joy is always possible when you touch the conditions of happiness that are already available to you. Your eyes still in good condition is already a condition of happiness. You just open your eyes and you see the face of your beloved one. You see the blue sky, you see the trees, you see the hills, you see the river, and the stars. So your eyes is one condition of happiness. And there are plenty of them in your body, conditions of happiness. There are plenty of them around you. And if you are in the here and the now, you can touch many of them, and to generate a feeling of joy or happiness is something very easy to do at any time. With condition that you have some mindfulness and concentration in you, and you know very well that to have that energy of mindfulness and concentration, you can practice mindful breathing, mindful walking. So that is the fifth exercise of mindful breathing, to generate a feeling of joy whenever you want. The sixth exercise is to generate a feeling of happiness whenever you want. And this is the art of happiness. Creating moments of joy, creating moments of happiness for you and for the other person. If you are not joyful, if you are not happy, you don't have much to offer to him or to her. So to practice generating joy and happiness for you, you have something to offer to him or to her. And the next two exercises, to become aware of the painful feeling and to calm it down, is the art of suffering, the art of handling suffering. And we have learned last time that if we know how to suffer, we suffer much less. We are not overwhelmed by the suffering because we know how to use the energy of mindfulness and concentration to recognize the pain, to embrace it, and to calm it down. It's clear that if you know how to suffer, you suffer much less. And you can go further. You can make good use of the suffering in order to create happiness. The way we use the mud in order to grow lotus flower. And it is an art. The art to generate happiness, the art of handling suffering. The fourth exercise and the third is about the body. These four exercises are about the feelings. Pleasant feeling, painful feeling, painful feeling. How to generate pleasant feelings, how to handle unpleasant feelings. The third exercise is to recognize, to be aware of your body. Breathing in, I'm aware of my body. Breathing in, I know I have a body. Awareness of body. You bring your mind home and you recognize the existence of your body. It's like you go home and you recognize the feeling of pain. But here, to recognize the presence of your body. And when you are home to your body, you might notice that there is tension, stress, and pain in your body. Because you might have allowed the tension to be accumulated in your body. You have been working your body very hard. And tension, pain accumulated in your body make you suffer. That is why the third exercise of mindful breathing is to go home to your body and aware of your body. And when you are with your body, you might notice that there is tension and pain in it. That is why you have to use the fourth exercise, is to release the tension in your body, calming the body. So the method is exactly the same. Here you are aware of the painful feeling and you calm down the painful feeling. On this side, you are aware of your body and then you practice mindful breathing to calm your body, to release the tension in your body. That is a practice of relaxation, releasing the tension in the body. And these four exercises are to take care of our body. While the other exercises are to take care of our feelings. And the first one is recognizing, to be aware of your in-breath and out-breath. Breathing in, I am aware of my in-breath. Breathing out, I am aware of my out-breath. Recognizing your in-breath and your out-breath. That is the first exercise. Every beginner of meditation practices that. It's very easy, but it's very deep. Because if you really focus your attention on your in-breath and out-breath, you release everything else and you become a free person. Just paying attention to your in-breath and out-breath can bring great result. And the second exercise of mindful breathing is to follow your in-breath and your out-breath. Suppose this marker represents the length of your in-breath. It begins here and it ends here, maybe 3-4 seconds. And suppose this finger is your mind. I begin to breathe in. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath all the way through. Breathing out, I follow my out-breath all the way through. My finger sticks to the marker. My mind follows very closely my in-breath and out-breath. There is no interruption. And breathing like that make your mindfulness and concentration more solid, deeper. And if you are more mindful, if you are more concentrated, and the pleasure of breathing will be greater, because breathing in and out can be very pleasant. If you suffer when you breathe in, that's not good practice. And when you breathe in and you feel pleasant, wonderful, you enjoy your in-breath, you know that is good practice. To breathe and to be aware that you are alive. That can already bring you a lot of happiness. Because a person who is already dead does not breathe in anymore. As I breathe in, I know I am alive. And to be alive is a miracle. It is the greatest of all miracles. And that insight alone can bring happiness. Just sit there and breathe can make you happy already. So the very simple first exercise of mindful breathing can already generate mindfulness, concentration, and bring you a lot of happiness. whether you are sitting on the grass or whether you are sitting at the foot of a tree and breathing. With mindfulness and concentration, you can be a happy person just breathing in and out. Sitting on the bus, sitting on the train also, instead of thinking of this and that, you enjoy breathing in and out, and you enjoy the landscape. One quick implementation is enough for you to learn to train yourself in the art of mindful breathing and walking. And you can experience joy, happiness, and you know how to handle the painful feeling, the painful emotion that is coming up in you. Last time we also spoke about listening. We listen to our own suffering. While you hold your suffering tenderly, you can listen to it. Because you have mindfulness in you. You have the energy of mindfulness and concentration in you. And you are not afraid of the pain in you. With that energy of mindfulness and concentration, you can look deeply into the nature of your suffering. You can listen to your own suffering. Because your suffering may carry within itself the suffering of your father, of your mother, of your ancestors. And understanding your suffering, you understand the suffering of your mother, your father, and your ancestors. Maybe father and mother did not know how to transform their suffering. And that is why they have transmitted that block of suffering to us. And we don't know why we suffer that much. The fact is that the suffering in us carries within itself the suffering of our father, our mother, our ancestors, and our nation. That's sure. And that is why we need to have the time to listen to our own suffering and to understand. And in order to listen, you need mindfulness and concentration, so that you are not afraid of being overwhelmed by the suffering inside. Looking deeply and listen deeply is the act of meditation. To meditate is to have the time to look and to listen. And the object of meditation is our own suffering, our own pain. And if you continue to look, to listen to your pain, your suffering, you come to understand it. And understanding will always bring compassion. And this is easy enough to understand. When you look at the other person deeply and with mindfulness, you have a chance to see the suffering in him or in her. That person does not know how to handle the suffering in him. He continues to be the victim of his own suffering. He makes himself suffer, and he makes the people around suffer, including you. So far, no one has told him. So far, no one has helped him to understand his suffering and to transform his suffering. That is why he continues to suffer and to make the people around suffer. When you suffer, you make people suffer, even the people you love. Therefore, you should try to understand your own suffering in order to suffer less. Because understanding always brings about compassion. When you look at the other person deeply, and if you recognize the suffering in him or in her, that you see that that person is the victim of his own suffering, and suddenly understanding arises in you. And you are not angry at him anymore. You don't